Okay, I think I'm recording this. So hi Ian, so this is Leqi and this is lab 4 for this week. And I feel like this program is way more complicated than what we did before. So this program is called Soccer Team Roster, and it has, well, you can see it's quite long here. So I decided to separate it into different parts. So we can see here we have input part, right? And here's the menu. And for the menu we have a couple different features. We can update players rating and output players above the rating, and replace player, output roster, and quit. So this program can, like for example, we input a couple numbers which is in pair, which defines a player's jersey's number, and the player's rating. And we can ask the reader to input some numbers, and we can do this couple thing. But it's quite hard and difficult, so I think if I separate it, it's gonna be easier. So let's just get started. So here it has to input 5 pairs of numbers, a player's jersey number, blah blah, and player's rating. So now it's, of course, it's the input part. So we define that numbers and rating, which from 0 to 9 and 0 to 9. And we identify another variable which is I, which is for all the loops and all we did after that. And then we do the input, right? So you new scanner system in to input what the reader types in. So we use for loop, right? And if they enter player blah blah jersey number, and that's the first number, and the next is another pair for this number, that is rating. So then we got a pair of number which defines the player's jersey number and the player's rating, right? And that's all the input part. And then we need to do the roster here, right? And anyway, more. Okay. And roster we use for loop again, so we can combine the jersey number and the rating number together, which showed up here. It's exactly the same, and it starts from 1 to the number 5, and that's all we get in the first part. And then we can start the menu. So for the menu, it's quite simple. We just have to identify this couple features, which is menu and the first, second, third, this couple thing, and then we can do about it. So we let the reader to choose an option. So first of all, we initialize the option, which when it's Q, which means quit, and we do nothing about it, right? And next, if they enter U, which means update player's rating. So now if we're gonna update the rating, of course we have a new number and a new rating, right? So I identify the two different variables, new jersey number and new rating, right? And if if they enter U, then the user option is U, then we can ask them to enter the number that they want. So we have two sentences, which the first one is enter the jersey number, and the second one is enter the new rating player. So now we get two different numbers. And now what I'm thinking about is put these two new numbers to replace the old two, right? So we use for loop, and we use new one to replace the old one, right? Now we finish the update players rating part. And here then we can do the output players above rating. And this one is, I feel like it's more, it's hard for me anyway. So if they enter A, so of course we need to identify this, the entered rate, right? So we ask them to enter the rate. And if it's above, so we use for loop. If it's bigger than that, we output the player's rating. So we can find which one is the one we need. And third, we can do the replace player part, which means if they entered R, so we had old number and new number, and we have new rating, right? And this time they can enter a number, and we use for loop again. If old one equals to the number that they want, right? Enter the new. No. If the old one is this, then we ask them to enter the number, so we can change it, and then it becomes the new player. The what can I say? It's complete new player. So, and the next is output the roster. Well, this is quite easy. If they input O, and we use for loop, and we just output everything in this roster, right? And so we output everything here. And so now we can try. Let's try it. So like it asks here, if we enter, so we just enter everything here: 84, 7, 23, 4, 4, 5, right? 30, and 2, and 66, and 9. And now we have everything input. And now we can see the menu here. And now I'm gonna do the following. So let's just start with U. If I entered U, and it'll ask you to enter the jersey number. So it's here, right? So it's gonna be 23, right? And enter a new rating of player 6. And now we can see here. So roster, we can see it above here, right? And now we do a new one. We choose A, this one, A, output players about rating. So enter A, right? So we enter rating. Let's say 5. Say 5. No, 5 here. Okay. Now we can see above 5. See, rating is 7, 6, and 9. So these 3 players are the players that has rating above 5, right? Then we try a new one. We do replace. We do replace. Enter R. Enter jersey number. Anyway. Replace 4. 4 here. 12 and 8, and then we replace a player. We can see it above. Well, it shows nothing here. It's fine. And then the final one, we do output the roster. we just do O, and we don't have to enter anything this time, and it's just showed up here. It's everything here. And if we entered Q, of course, it's just gonna create this program and show nothing here. And if we enter anything, it's not, then nothing gonna happen. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's a script program. It's quite complicated, but it's still fine.